New at 6, local leaders are taking a stand against religious bigotry and the hate crimes that can come along with that.
Now, this comes in the wake of targeted attacks on synagogues, mosques, and churches across the country.
WJC is live. Stetson Miller with the calls for greater security and more funding to protect places of worship. Stetson.
Hey, Vic and Denise, good evening. Yeah, local members of Congress told me today they're working to increase funding for security at places of worship, and they say they need more funding because of those numerous recent attacks at religious institutions. There have been several recent crimes targeting religious institutions across the country, including the Hanukkah stabbings in New York, a church shooting in Texas in December, and here in Maryland, an online threat made against a mosque in Howard County. Recent FBI statistics show that hate crime incidents at churches, synagogues, temples, and mosques have increased almost 35% over the last several years.
Last year, there was the first murder of Jews in synagogue at prayer in Pittsburgh. We've seen, again, church shootings and mosque shootings and Sikh temple, and this is terribly, terribly disturbing.
That's why today some of Maryland's congressional delegation, including Senators Chris Van Hollen and Ben Cardin and Congressman John Sarbanes, all announced their support today for a new proposal that calls for quadrupling the federal nonprofit security grant from $90 million to $360 million. That could pay for security improvements at places of worship like more secure doors and security guards.
This is the way we can do our part to help protect places of worship, even as we speak out to try to bring people together.
The realities are that houses of worship are no longer safe from the point of view of terrorism, and security is just a given thing.
The senators were joined by Jewish, Christian, and Muslim leaders, many who said the grant programs are critical to protecting religious buildings.
We need the money to harden all the surroundings for the faith-based houses.
It is all making a difference to help keep our places of worship both safe and welcoming.
And both senators told me that there is bipartisan support for this funding, and they're confident it will happen. Live in President Street, Stetson Miller for WJC.